Okay, that's nice. I'm sorry, this raising hands, we don't know where it is actually happening. So Hari Prasad Prabhu also asked a very nice question in the group. I really encourage devotees to take advantage of this WhatsApp group, because there are so many nice questions that devotees ask. In the previous batches and all, when we started the group, there is such nice healthy discussions, especially on the Shastra Vichar. So it is very important for us because this is the time when we can really actually contemplate and immerse deep into the nectar of the Bhagavatam ocean. Mm. So I really request you all to study every day, whatever you share, you for nice points you found in Prabhupada's purports or some lectures. No, it's something which you can share with everyone. It is both the parasparam, right? Today I may be speaking something, tomorrow you may be speaking something. So we'll have very nice association through Prabhupada's in the midst of Prabhupada, right? So that's my humble request to you all. So with that, I think Prabhu, if someone can share that WhatsApp link in this group, I think somebody is Dayalu Prabhu is asking for Dayalu Govind Prabhu is asking for that WhatsApp link. Maybe in the chat itself, if somebody can share it, because that will be very nice. And Vrajasaki Mataji is saying that she joined only today. I think you're saying in this Zoom meeting, right, Mataji? I hope you have joined the. I hope you have joined the WhatsApp group. If not, that link will be there. Somebody will share it. You can probably join that group link. It will be very useful to all of us, me also. So let me start the presentation now, where we were as of last week. And with that, I also want to answer one particular question that Hari Prasad Prabhu asked, which is a very interesting question. Prabhu, do you want to speak it out here, because others may not have read your message in the group. Not everybody would have read your message in the group. I will. Sorry. I will. I'm asking you to unmute Hari Prasad Prabhu. You can speak.
Yeah, Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Yes, Prabhu.
Dandavat Pranam. So, yeah, my question is I posted because we heard in the glorification of Srimad Bhagavatam, and where it is specified Supreme Lord is our Lord Krishna, but people still doubt about that whether Lord Shiva is the supreme or Lord Vishnu is the supreme. That is one question. And the second question I have Vyasadev compiled many Puranas, right? And we understood from Srimad Bhagavatam only Lord Krishna is the supreme person. And the reason behind why he created so many Puranas instead of a single Bhagavatam Purana itself, because that will help every people to have a single mind, only Lord Krishna as a supreme.
Yes.
So that's what my question is, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Yeah. So why Vyasadev in the beginning itself did not write only Bhagavatam? Why did he write so many Puranas? That's a very interesting question, isn't it? We think that way, and we also see one more important point here, Prabhu, that Vyasadev is Krishna's incarnation, right? So he must have had some particular reason why he did that, isn't it? Why he wrote all other Puranas first, and then finally he became despondent, and then he wrote Shrimad Bhagavatam, right? So this is something which we need to think over and understand. See, one point of view, if you see actually, Prabhu, that a value of some object is known when you have other, say, little, I would say, inferior compared to that. Right? In comparison to that object, if the other items are little little inferior, then you will see the value of this is much higher, isn't it? Now we are all locked out. When we were all roaming around, we didn't realize the importance or the value of breathing fresh air or going out and meeting friends and all so much. Many times you will say, no, I'm busy, I will not come, like that. But when we are locked down for a year and a half or so, and I don't know how long more, then we will realize that, oh, it's this meeting devotees or meeting, going to the temple, meeting devotees is all even more valuable, isn't it? That we appreciate the value of it when you see the other, say, not so effective, um, um, if a not so effective way of associating, we realize the importance of it, isn't it? So when Bhagavatam only is available, then we may take it for granted. Everywhere it is only Bhagavatam. How does it? But then when you see that all other scriptures, even after writing all other scriptures, Vyasadeva himself, in other words, Krishna himself, became despondent. Krishna's incarnation, he himself became despondent because he only wrote all other Puranas. And he didn't write on the center, keeping Krishna as the center, he didn't glorify, he didn't write the glorification of Krishna in a single scripture, keeping him in the center. Right? So that is where you will see that there are two verses in Bhagavatam Prabhu, one in 1:431 and another is 1:5:8. Both these shlokas I indicate a very important point. Let me start sharing here on, so that it will be easier for me to speak up with the content. Please tell me when you are able to see my screen.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Right? Okay. So this is the shloka where Vyasadeva himself is feeling despondent. This shloka is very nice. Kimva Bhagavata Dharma Prayena Nirupitaha Priyaha Paramahansanam Taeva Hyachyuta Priyaha. He says this is actually Vyasadeva himself is contemplating, why he is, after writing so much Vedas, Puranas, Bhagavad, Mahabharata, Vedanta Sutra, everything, after writing all these things, why he is feeling despondent. He himself is realizing it because he is in touch with his guru, right, in the form of Paramatma. He is meditating on that, contemplating on it. This may be because I did not specifically point out the devotional service of the Lord, which is dear both to perfect beings and to the infallible Lord. See, here an important point here. It is not only about Krishna, it is about devotional service of the Lord. He didn't highlight the importance or significance or the superiority of bhakti over all other process of jnana, karma, yoga, and all other stuff. So he didn't. He gave it in simple forms here and there, but then he didn't really point out the devotional service of the Lord, because that is the thing that is dear to both Krishna and the perfect beings, Paramahamsas. And he himself, this is why Prabhupada writes in the purport that dissatisfaction was being felt by Srila Vyasadeva is expressed here in his own words. See, this is the reason actually. Vyasadeva himself realized it. And later, in the 5th chapter, when you see Narad Muni, when he arrives, right? This is a very important connection we have to notice here. Whenever we really contemplate and go to the heart, to listen to the Paramatma's voice, then the Paramatma inspires the Guru, or the spiritual master, to come in front of us and inspire us with the right instruction. So when Vyasadeva himself started feeling that yes, something must be wrong in me, this is why in Hindi they say that very nice doha is there. You must have been knowing that. Kripa bhai tab janiye jab dikhe apna dosh. This kripa is actually Krishna kripa, Krishna's mercy, right? So it is very important for us to understand this. Krishna's mercy, when we think about our own dosha, in kripa bhai tab janiye jab dikhe apna dosh. When my dosh is revealed to me by my contemplation and my introspection, then that is the real mercy of Krishna. That is where Krishna is giving real mercy. We have to understand. We always say, Krishna's mercy is not there, Krishna's mercy is not there. But actually, Krishna's mercy is there when we realize our own faults and our own shortcomings and offenses, whatever, anarthas, etc. So this is where Vyasadeva shows us by his own personal example. In other words, Krishna in the form of Vyasadeva is showing us by his own example that I have to contemplate when I am not feeling satisfied. So there must be some reason behind this. What is that reason? Because I have not specifically glorified the devotional service of the Lord. I have not written an exclusive scripture which glorifies the devotional service of the Lord about the devotees and the dealings between Krishna and his devotees. So he is starting to realize that. And as soon as he starts to realize that, Krishna inspires Narad Muni, Vyasadeva's spiritual master, to come and say the same message in his different words, but the same message. See this shloka. Shri Narada Uvacha Bhavatanudita Prayam Yasho Bhagavato Malam Yenai Vasau Natushyeta Manyeta Darshanaukilam. Can somebody read this translation, please?
Sri Harikrishna Prabhu.
Yes, Mataji, please go ahead.
Sri Narada said, you have not actually broadcast the sublime and spotless glories of personality of Godhead. That philosophy which does not satisfy the transcendental senses of the Lord is considered worthless.
Yes. See how Narada Muni is literally hammering him with a straightforward message. You have not actually broadcast. This is an important point we have to understand. In that other verse, Vyasadeva is using the word specifically. And here, Narada Muni is using the word actually. Both relate to the same thing. You haven't specifically pointed out. You haven't actually glorified devotional service. You haven't actually glorified Krishna. Devotional service is nothing but glorification of Krishna and his devotees. Right? Glorifying the character of Krishna, glorifying the leelas of Krishna, all the sublime glories and sublime and spotless glories of Krishna. So he says that philosophy which does not satisfy the transcendental senses of the Lord is considered worthless. It's not useless. It's not useful. It is extremely useless. So you just throw it out. This is the straightforward instruction that Narada Muni is giving. So, in order to bring out this point that the devotional service is the topmost, devotees and Krishna's descriptions or glorification is the topmost thing to hear, he prepared this whole thing of writing all these other Puranas and etc. Doesn't mean that they are inferior. They were also written by Vyasadeva only. But the whole point is that these things are like the building blocks. You see, you put a big billboard. And then it's right on top of the billboard. You have the thing. Then everybody will look at the billboard, right? So that billboard is the Bhagavatam, and all other supporting structures and everything. They are the Upanishads, Vedas, and everything. We'll get to know a little bit more detail as to why Bhagavatam is special amongst all the Vedic scriptures. Now, one point I want to highlight this before we move on, because this is related to this particular content, Prabhus and Mataji. Okay, we are saying that I think somebody asked this question. I don't know if Hariprasad Prabhu asked or someone else asked this question. Then why is it that in all these different Puranas, say in Shiva Puran, Lord Shiva is glorified, in Devi Puran, Devi's Mother Durga is glorified. Like that, different people or different devatas are glorified. Then how do we understand this whole sequence of things? So for this, our Acharyas give a very beautiful example through a puzzle. Suppose I give you this puzzle. Two fathers and two sons went to the forest for hunting. They all had bow and arrow with them. There is a flock of birds that were sitting in the tree. They all aimed at one bird each, and all of them shot their arrows. No target was missed, but only three birds fell down. So how do you solve this puzzle? 4 people went, but only 3 fell down. None of them missed the target. Anybody would like to unmute and say the answer?
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Yes,
Maybe the same person target to the one bird.
No, all of them targeted different birds. None of them targeted the same bird.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Yes, Prabhu.
It's grandfather, father and grandson.
Yes.
Father and two sons.
Yeah, when we say two father and two sons, there is a grandfather, father, and son. So the father in the middle is acting both as the son and the father. You got the point? He is the father for the son, and he is the son for the grandfather. I mean, three people: the grandfather, father, and son. So if you put it this way, two father and two son went to the forest, then you will get. I mean, you might be thinking that way, but actually speaking, only three people went. So this, if you see, so a person who is a father in one place becomes a son in another place. Correct? Same way, the devotee who is glorified, or the deity who is glorified in one Purana, is glorifying Krishna in Bhagavatam. You see, Shiva is glorified in Shiva Puran, but Shiva is glorifying Krishna in Bhagavatam. So who is the grandfather here?
Krishna. Bro.
Yes. So who is the supreme? Krishna. So this is how we should approach the various Puranas and our other Shastras. They're all glorifying different deities. But you see in Bhagavatam and Brahma Samhita and all, you will see all these other deities, Devatas, they will come and glorify Krishna. So we will ask a question. Now, is Krishna not glorifying anybody? Yes, Krishna is glorifying somebody in Bhagavatam. Who is he glorifying in Bhagavatam?
Uddhava Prabhu.
No. Yes, I mean in one sense, yes, but then he's telling he's telling to Durvasa Muni when he is running.
He's glorifying the devotees.
Devotees, yes. So he's saying devotees are greater than me. What is that? Aham bhakta paradina hi asta tantra iva dvijaha sadhubir grasta hridaya bhaktair bhakta janapriya. So aham bhakta paradhin. I am a slave of my devotees. And I don't have any independence. He asvatantra iva dvijaha sadhubir grasta hridayo. They are part hold of me in their hearts. Bhaktair Bhakta Janapriya. What to speak of this Bhaktas? Bhaktair Bhakta Janapriya. Even the devotees of the devotees are very dear to me. So this way Krishna is glorifying somebody who is greater than him. You see? So this is how the sequence works when we are looking at the different Puranas. And Vyasadeva did not write this specific thing glorifying Bhagavatam. And there are other important points also we have to note down from when the other, compared to other Puranas, how Bhagavatam is different, is unique. See, all the different Puranas are named based on the deities that are glorified. For example, Shiva Puran, Shiva is glorified, so it is called Shiva Puran. Devi Puran, Devi is glorified, so Devi. And some of them are based on the speakers or the one who asks questions, like Garuda Puran is Garuda is speaking, Agni Puran is Agni is speaking, right? So they are hearing and speaking. Like there's a discussion going on between two personalities. One of them is Garuda in Garuda Puran, and another is Agni in Agni Puran. So based on that, that particular Puran is named. Or some of them are based on the Kalpa in which it is spoken, like Padma Puran is based on the Padma Kalpa. So that is why it's called Padma Puran. So in this sequence, if you see, actually Bhagavatam should be called as Krishna Puran, isn't it? It should be called as Krishna Puran, or maybe Dwapara Yuga, Dwapara Puran, something like that. They should have spoken, right? But it is called Bhagavatam, Bhagavata Puranam. Why it is so? Because to show that Krishna is the supreme Lord Bhagavan, Bhagavan. And that is his supreme personality of Godhead. That is why even in Bhagavad Gita we see Bhagavan Vacha, we don't see Krishna Vacha, right? So the consistency, you can see it is maintained across the board. And another important point we have to see from how honest and how thoroughly honest and straightforward is Srimad Bhagavatam compared to the other places. See, in other Puranas, the glories of the specific deity is asked by the inquirer, the audience directly. Like they will say, Lord Shiva is the supreme. Please tell about the supreme Lord, supreme personality, Lord Shiva, or tell about supreme personality, Skanda, Ganesh. Like that, they will ask like that. So the questions are specific. So the answers also become automatically specific to the question. Whereas in Bhagavatam, you see, they say, what is the topmost duty? Whom should we worship? So this is very important for us to appreciate that they are very generic. Bhagavatam, the questions are generic, answers are specific. Right? Even in Vishnu Sahasranama, what is that shloka? Kimekam daivatam loke kim vapyena parayanam stuvantascha kim kam archantya prapnoyor manava shubham. Yudhishthira Maharaj is standing very next to our Bhishmadev, and Bhishmadev is speaking all the glories of the Vishnu Puran, Vishnu Sahasranam, sorry, and this is all in the part of the Mahabharata, right? So when he is speaking, very right next to him, Krishna is standing. So Krishna has been, Yudhishthira Maharaj knows that Krishna is the Supreme Lord, and Krishna has been helping them all through their life. But even in front of him, he is asking Bhishmadev, who is that Supreme Lord? Kimekam Daivatam Loka, who is the only Lord of all the universe, for all the lokas. Kim Vapyana Parayanam, to whom I should worship? Stuvantascha Kamachantya, to whom I should do my prathanas, to whom should I offer my archana? Like this, he is asking everything very generic, right? And that shows the unique, the thoroughly honest nature of the speakers and the audience in Bhagavatam. They don't confine themselves to saying that Krishna is the only Supreme Lord. You tell about Krishna. No. They say, you tell whoever is the Supreme Lord, we will accept it. Then Bhishmadev says, the one who is standing next to you, he is the Supreme Lord, and then he glorifies Krishna. Right? So that is how we should see how Bhagavatam is Amala Puran. Why Bhagavatam is Amala Puran? Does these things help Hari Prasad Prabhu?
Yes, Prabhu. It is very clear for me now. Thank you so much.
Yeah, so these are some of the points. There's so many other reasons also why Bhagavatam is so special, unique, and all that. But we will come to that as we go along.
Yeah, fine, Prabhu. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhu, for that inquisitive question also.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yes, Prabhuji. Yes, Prabhuji. Yes,
Hare Krishna,
Prabhu.
Prabhuji. Yes, may I ask a question, Prabhuji?
Please, please.
Yes, Prabhuji. As we see that everywhere it is claimed that there are 18,000 verses in Shrimad Bhagavatam, but in actual we see that there are less number of verses, around 14,000 or something. So how do we reconcile this fact?
Yeah. So I too counted it, Prabhu, at one point, and I was also a bit surprised that how come some verses are not there, or it is less than 18,000. Actually, I remember hearing a couple of answers to this. One is His Holiness Bhakti Purushottam Maharaj mentioned once that there are many shlokas pertaining to Lord Rama's pastime that were lost in course of time. So that maybe, a few thousand, whatever. And the other thing is also that, of course, there are many prose verses in 5th canto. Some of them might have been, I don't know how they counted and all that. So that we don't know how it got synced. So, but overall, Bhagavatam that is revealed to us is 18,000 shlokas. In the course of time, we might have missed out some shlokas. Bhagavad Gita is only 700 shlokas, so it didn't really get reduced much, in the passage of time. But for whatever reason, Krishna also says in Bhagavad Gita, no, yogo nashta parantapa. So there is a tendency that sometimes due to the influence of the material energy, these things maybe might have lost. But the core part of the main shlokas are still with us. Because Lord Rama's glorification is anyway there in Ramayana, right? So we do have a few chapters in the 9th canto for Lord Rama, but predominantly this entire Shrimad Bhagavatam is specifically about glorification of Krishna. So that part we still have. Is that okay, Prabhu? This is what I heard, so I'm just sharing the same message.
Okay. Yes, thank you so much, Prabhuji.
I think somebody is giving, Prashant Prabhu is actually saying some answer. Okay. So saying some words are combined due to chant and bhav. But if total akshar and divide it, Divided by what, Prabhu? Divided by what? Can Prashant Prabhu, can you tell that? Divided by what? Brajaseki Mataji, I will come to your. Okay, so you are saying that Anushtup numbers. Okay. Okay, that way you can say it is 8,000, 18,000. That can also be one of the ways of understanding this, Prabhu. If you see, when we go to the chandas part, we will come to that point where each chanda has specific number of syllables in it. Like the Anushtup chanda has total of 32 syllables. Each line is 8, so total 32, 18 to 432. So we have many more longer chandas also, like 44 long, 44 aksharas, 48. Then we have 13, 52. Then we have 60, up to even 80 also is there. So the Janma Deshayata Handal, it's also 70, 80 long, total number of aksharas. So if you divide it by 32, which is Anushtup's numbers, then it will probably come to 18,000. Because the total number of Anushtup verses itself comes to about 60% of the total number of slokas is actually Anushtup. Then about 20-30 is the next higher length verses. And then we have many other slokas also in our Vasanta Tilakam, which is about 56 length in total. So maybe that if we can count the aksharas, I don't know, to count the number of verses itself, it will take so much time. To count, at least that we will find it from the chapter numbers, in each chapter, this many shlokas are there. We can just calculate quickly. But calculating aksharas in each shloka is going to be really a tough task. That's going to be pretty challenging. If somebody has the patience to do that, then maybe you can go ahead and can do that. Thank you for that message also, Prashant Mukund Prabhu.
Yes, Prabhuji. And there's one more thing also.
I think
that,
1 minute, sorry. Yes, Prabhuji. Mukund Mata Prabhu is saying, I'm not able to understand. So, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yeah, sorry, Prabhu. Is that, who is speaking? Is this
Yes,
Prashant or Mukund Mata Prabhu? I'm sorry, I didn't get who is speaking.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Nalini here, Prabhu. I've come as Mukund Madhav. They are my deities' names, Prabhu.
Okay. Oh, Jai. Very good.
Prabhu, that Chand and Bhav, I'm not able to understand. So that is what I asked you, Prabhu.
Okay. Okay. Chanda is meter. Say, for example, we are singing now. Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya Cha Nanda Gopakumaraya Govindaya Namo Namaha. If you count the number of aksharas in this, it will come to 32. So each this, based on the total number of aksharas, the different chandas are formed. We will discuss that during our session. There is one specific session for all the different chandas.
Okay, Prabhu.
Right. So the chanda is like
Prabhu.
different meters we are talking about, right? Some things you sing in a different say. What is that shloka?
Tune.
Aham hare tava padaikamula dasanudaso bhavitasmi bhuyah manah smareta shupader gunanshe krinitava karma grihitava karotukaya. Yes. This like this, there are many different shlokas, different meters. So that.
Okay, Prabhu.
But the first one I sang, no, the number is 32. The second one that I sang is actually 48. So there is 16 extra aksharas are there. No, like this, you consolidate all the slokas, and then you will see that extra one you divide it, then it will be added to the total number of slokas.
Okay, Prabhu. Thank you so much, Prabhu.
Anything else?
Prabhuji, I just had a follow-up question for that.
Yes, Prabhuji.
I just had a follow-up question for that.
Yes,
so, Prabhuji, as Srila Prabhupada also tells in the introduction portion that the same 18,000 shlokas which were spoken by Sukdev Goswami, Parikshit Maharaj, but that is being presented. So my point was that, Prabhuji, if in case let's take about any number of shloka that was originally there. So in case we take, for example, whatever number of the shlokas which are present, so let's take that to be the final. So in case that is also there, so when Parikshit Maharaj is, Shukdev Goswami is speaking Shrimad Bhagavatam to Parikshit Maharaj, then the first three verses of Shrimad Bhagavatam, which are Mangalacharan, so and which are written by Srila Vyasadeva. So they should not have been there because Shukdev Goswami is not doing the Mangalacharan done by the Vyasadeva, because that is being done earlier.
Correct.
So that should not be the part of the conversation of Parikshit Maharaj and Shukdev Goswami.
Correct.
So in this way, if we see, there will be so many other verses also which will not be part of the conversation of Parikshit Maharaj and Shukdev Goswami.
Yeah, the discussion between Suta Goswami and the sages Ramik Rishi was also not part of Parikshit Maharaj's discussion, because it happens post their discussion, right?
Yes, Fuji. So then in that case, the verses spoken at the assembly of those sages must not be again the part of the conversation. And in that sense, but we see that in the introduction portion, Srila Prabhupada is saying that the same conversation, the same amount of shloka was spoken. So how do we reconcile this?
The last part I missed out. What did you say? The same thing is spoken.
In Srila Prabhupada is telling in the introduction of Shrimad Bhagavatam, he's telling that the 18,000 verses which were originally spoken by Suta Goswami at Nami for the Nami Saranya sages were spoken and repeated by Parikshit Maharaj. So how do we understand this statement?
Prabhu, Bhagavatam is actually not something which was spoken only at a particular time, that is Bhagavatam. Actual Bhagavatam was spoken in just 4 verses, from Krishna to Brahma, correct?
Yes.
You got the point?
Yes, Fuji.
So then Brahma spoke to Narad Muni and he said, Vipuli Kuru, you expand and speak on Bhagavatam, what your personal realization. Now Narad Muni speaks to Vyasadeva and he gives the synopsis in the 5th and 6th chapter of the first canto, only 2 chapters he speaks. And he says, you expand based on your realization. Now Vyasadeva is speaking to Shukadeva Goswami and he gives the content, and then Shukadeva Goswami speaks based on that. Then whatever Shukadeva Goswami spoke, Suta Goswami grasped it, and then he comes and speaks about the various things. And you, in between, you see Maitreya Muni and Vidura also discussing, right? Rishabdev is talking to his children, and then King Nimi is talking with the Navayogendras. So all these are Bhagavatam, many Bhagavatam, you understand? So Bhagavatam is not just only that particular thing. It is everything about the glorification of the Lord and the devotees and the devotional service, that all comprises of Bhagavatam. That is why every single book of Prabhupada is an expansion of Bhagavatam only. Even the small books is an expansion of Bhagavatam. You see,
yes,
that's why Bhagavatam is Bhagavatam. Bhagavatam's glorification is Bhagavatam. Glorification of Bhagavatam is also Bhagavatam. So that way, you don't confine it to, let's say, so and so numbers. That's where we have to be careful in not just confining Bhagavatam to be just a single book, Prabhu. It is actually, Bhagavatam is Krishna himself. And just like Krishna expands every moment, Bhagavatam also can expand it to any number of, verses. Like how, say, Prabhupada gave us this Bhagavatam. How many Bhagavatam classes are going on just with Prabhupada's Bhagavatam in the center? Right, Prabhu?
Yes, Prabhu.
So there is no, don't
Yes,
confine to the number of shlokas, this is only Bhagavatam, like that. There are many glorification of Bhagavatam. In Padma Purana, there is an entire Bhagavatam Mahatma that glorifies Bhagavatam. You will see that that is non-different from Bhagavatam only.
Yes, Prabhu. Thank you, Prabhu.
Right?
Yes, Prabhu.
And there are a couple of other questions also. 1 minute. I think Rajesh Saki Mataji asked, one point, Lord Vishnu and Krishna is same. Yes, Vishnu and Krishna are same, but Krishna is the source of everything. That is also there in the 3rd chapter of first canto. Then follow up, Mataji says, in many places mentioned in Bhagavatam worship Vishnu. Actually, Mataji, the first 9 cantos are considered as Narayan Lila. Because we are not yet qualified to hear the 10th canto directly, we are gradually prepared to that level by going through all the various incarnations of Lord Narayana. Predominantly, you will see that, of course, Krishna is there in between in many places, but predominantly you will see the Narayana Bhav, like, say Narsinghadev, Varahamurti, all of them are like showing their Aishwarya Bhav, and that is much more. Of course, Dayaluta is also there, But the kind of intimacy that the Gopas and Gopis have with Krishna, the Vrajavasis have with Krishna, the Dwarkavasis have with Krishna, you won't see that in the other incarnations, isn't it? So we have to develop that awe and reverence first. Then gradually, after we mature in that, then we are opened the door for the most what you call the Koshagandham, the Krishna's pastimes there. So that is why in many places this you will see that Vishnu is mentioned in the beginning of the Bhagavatam. But that does not mean that there is a difference in the level or anything. It's all pretty much it is all same. No, pretty much also it is all the same. Wherever it says Vishnu, it is actually Krishna only. Does that help, Mataji? Okay.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Yes, yes, Prabhu.
Prabhu, just expansion from the Mataji's question.
Yes, Prabhu.
Prabhu, Lord Baladev is expand himself to 4 quadruple, first quadruple and second quadruple. So all the Vishnu Tattvas is Baladev. Is it true, Prabhu? Or every...
Yes, through Balram only all the Vishnu Tattva and expansions come to. That is
so everyone, every deities, every temple's
incarnation.
Vishnu,
Yes, yes.
Incarnation of Baladev.
Yes, yes.
Not
Because
Krishna.
Baladev is the Seva avatar, right? He wants to serve Krishna in all different possible ways, like his bed and his flute and his what do you call that as the one that he has a hand to rest on, stick. Yeah, and then the chamra, the everything, the arati plate, the boga plate, the temples, the rath, everything, anything that you take that can serve Krishna, that is all Baladev's expansion. So in that way, all the incarnations also come through Baladev.
Okay, bro. Thanks, bro.
Thank you, Prabhu. Question there. I see one more question from Piyush Prabhu. Why we call Vishnu Tattva and not Krishna Tattva, as people understand by this that Krishna comes from Vishnu, which is not so. Please help me to understand better and to tell others. Well, actually, practically, there is no difference between Vishnu and Krishna, Prabhu. The only time when you have to really make that distinction is when we go into the intimate pastimes of Krishna. Like, not intimate pastimes like the Raslila, I'm telling very intimate rasa, that when you have to exchange the very close and very deep relationship with Krishna, like his father, like his son, like his friend, all those kind of rasas, So predominantly people are in the main in this thing of awe and reverence. You can't give this premaras to anybody and everybody and make them appreciate it to the in reality. They may not take it very easily. There is a danger of being taken very casually also because of Krishna's very informal dealings with all his devotees. So for the predominant people, even if that is the case, I will ask you a counter question, Prabhu. We should not be called Vaishnavas. We should be called Krishnavas, isn't it? If that is the case, right? Yeah. So why are we called Vaishnavas? Because the thing is, to the entire world, all the general people, it is very important to keep that dignity intact, right? Suppose our Prime Minister, he comes out and hangs out with everybody, puts his shoulder on someone and then shakes hands with someone just like that. We will take him very casually, right? He has to maintain that dignity when it comes to the public vision, isn't it? So the same way, our scriptures maintain that dignity. Otherwise, people will, even without that, people are taking it very informally and very casually, right? So it is very important for us to keep that dignity intact. I hope that helps. Okay, I think, can we move on? I think kind of questions are kind of almost through, so maybe we will move on. Oh, I get one more question here. Vishnu Tattva, do you have the same identity or different identities, although rasa is different? Prabhu, we will answer this in the WhatsApp if you don't mind. So I am not averse to this question, but I'm just saying we will not get into the presentation. No problem at all. I will copy this question and I will answer this in the WhatsApp group. Even others would like to answer also, please feel free to do it, Prabhus. Okay, let me go on with the presentation now. It had this. Tell me if you are able to see the screen. Is it visible?
No, Prabhuji. No, it's not visible.
Not visible.
No, Prabhuji.
Something is wrong. Okay, I think I should. Please tell me if this is visible.
Yes, Prabhuji. Now it's available.
Okay, fine. So this we covered last week. How all other the Puranas glorify Bhagavatam. Right? This also we saw how the Skanda Purana, Matsya Purana, Brahmavarta Purana, they all glorify Bhagavatam. Now, Bhagavatam itself glorifies Bhagavatam. That is the beauty here. You know, if all the other Puranas are glorifying Bhagavatam and Bhagavatam will say, okay, I will do likewise to you all, and then it starts glorifying Garuda Puran, Matsya Puran, Brahmavarta Puran, and all these Puranas, then it will be like sometimes how devotees also do, you know, like one devotee glorifies another devotee, Prabhu, you are so great, you are such a exalted Vaishnava. Then the other devotee will tell this devotee that no, Prabhu, you are great, you are. So this sometimes we do that thing, and this is among devotees. Maybe that is sometimes that is a interesting rasa. But if you go out and they start, you know, some strange person, we start glorifying him, then that person also glorifies us. There will be always this, what you call, you know, I expect something from you, I want some benefit from you. So it's a mutual understanding kind of a thing. That is not really the right way of relationships actually. So Bhagavatam does not glorify other Puranas in return. Bhagavatam glorifies Bhagavatam only, because ultimately the one who should be glorified is Krishna. Because Bhagavatam is Krishna, so Bhagavatam glorifies Krishna inside Bhagavatam. So, and anything that glorifies Krishna is Bhagavatam. Anything that glorifies Bhagavatam is also Bhagavatam. So that is why let's try to do this. You know, these very nice shlokas. You know, this is very nicely sung, and this shloka is very beautiful to understand how important it is to hear Bhagavatam through the ears. How nice it should be, our hearing process. We can nicely sing this shloka with kartal, you know, this shloka. Pibanti ye Bhagavata Atmana Satam Katamratam Shravana Puteshu Sampratam Punam Tite Vishaya Vidushitashayam Prajanti Tat Charana Saroruhantikam. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So this is such a beautiful verse. When you sing, no, these somebody was asking a little while ago, what are these chandas? So these are the different chandas, and whenever we recite these chandas, we really get that bhav, the beautiful bhav of Krishna, that loving relationship with Krishna develops in our heart. You know, so this usually in this chanda, the Shringar bhav is developed very very nicely. It is said. So the Shringar, you know, there is a, you know, you decorate Krishna, right, through these slokas. These slokas are the decoration of Krishna. So can somebody read this translation? There is so much in it that one side we are relishing singing this shloka, and on top of it you see that even more beautiful that is the translation of Srila Prabhupada. Can somebody read this translation?
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
Yes, Prabhu.
Those who drink through oral reception, fully filled with the nectarian message of Lord Krishna, the beloved of the devotees, purify the polluted aim of life known as material enjoyment, and thus go back to Godhead, to the lotus feet of Him, the personality of Godhead, Shrimad Bhagavatam, Canto 2, Chapter 2, verse number 37.
Thank you so much, Prabhu. So this is a very unique shloka. Can somebody say what is uniqueness in this shloka?
Drinking through the years, Prabhu.
Yes, what does that mean? Can you expand a little bit more on it?
That Shravanam is very important.
Yes, but how can you drink through the ears? We can only drink through the tongue, mouth. How can we drink through the ears?
Prabhu, when we hear through the scriptures, through the mouth of some realized soul, then only Krishna enter in our heart, because those realized soul have the taste of Krishna and they transfer in our heart, and we hear it from our ears. We get
Correct.
that.
Correct. What is that drinking? What is that really the drinking mean? I mean,
Shrimad Bhagavatam. Shrimad Bhagavatam is Rasalayam. So it is a rasa. So we hear through the ears, and we drink through the ears.
Yeah, very beautiful. So it is juice, right? That Shrimad, what is that? Rasamalayam. Pibantiye Bhagavat, sorry, the third sloka, right? Muhuraho Rasika Bhuvi Bhavukaha. That is Rasamalayam. It is Rasam. Rasam means taste. So when we are hearing Shrimad Bhagavatam, the different kathas, there is some taste. We are enjoying the taste. So the drinking means actually we are enjoying through the, like how we are enjoying the taste of some juice, say mango juice or pomegranate juice or watermelon juice or whatever you drink. Each one has its beautiful taste. No, when the tongue feels its taste and the mind feels very joyful upon tasting that, isn't it? So that is why it is pibanti. How can you drink through the ears? So this is very interesting because drinking means tasting, and then you can see through the ears. You are experiencing. So the experience, anubhava, no? Yaswanubhavam akila shruti sarame. Right? So that swa anubhavam, that we have to experience or enjoy the taste on our own. That is the important point here. Okay, so that is the first point we have to think. Then what is the next point that comes here? Anyone else would like to try that out?
Purify the polluted aim, Prabhu.
Yes. What does that mean? Can you highlight on that? Expand on that more.
Purify the polluted aim means our aim in our life to not satisfy the Lord, rather we satisfy ourselves.
Yes, absolutely, Prabhu. Material enjoyment means I am the center of existence. Everyone in this world is meant to satisfy me and please me, glorify me, all that. So that is the polluted aim. Vidushita ashayam, Vishaya Vidushita ashayam. That is a polluted aim of life. I can't bear someone else being glorified more than me. If somebody gets glorified more than me, then I will become restless, anxious. When can I be glorified more? I am more qualified than that person. So this is how our polluted aim of life. Even in the spiritual life, we are polluted in that sense. I mean, not everybody, but many. If we introspect, we will see these things. Just like Vyasadeva was introspecting, we also need to introspect ourselves. So that is a polluted aim of life known as material enjoyment. But Bhagavatam purifies that polluted aim of life. Punanti. You see, that Punanti is very important. When does it do Punanti?
Constant hearing, Prabhu.
Yes. What from the shloka, what is that word?
By drinking the juice by hearing the nectar.
Yes. But
nectar of Bhagavatam.
Yeah, but what is the important line here? Kathamrutam Shravana Puteshu Sambritam. Sambritam means
below.
No, Sambritam means overflowing. See, you have a
Punanti means Prabhuji purifies?
Yes, Prabhu. Punanti is purifying. Pibanti is drinking. Punanti is purifying. Vrajanti is going. Okay. Somebody has raised hand. Sorry. Guru, can you?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Prabhuji, I want to understand this number of cantos. The cantos, 12 cantos, is it defined since beginning, or by the period of time these cantos were redefined and given the names?
No, Prabhu. They are not chronologically arranged, Prabhu. You can see that the pastimes are happening in different places at different times, and even different kalpas or yugas also. So they are just a consolidated discussions of whatever was discussed between the two great souls, Parikshit Maharaj and Shukadeva Goswami, and again further down between Suta Goswami and the Naimisharanya sages, which was Vyasadeva was present in both these meetings. So after this meeting was over, on the instruction of Narad Muni, Vyasadeva is writing the entire text. So it is not based on chronology, Prabhu. Does it help?
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Further details we can discuss, Prabhu, as we go along, because they will come. Actually, there is a nice purport which I just recently read it. It's about the chronological order that Prabhupada tells. I will find it out and share it in the WhatsApp, Prabhu. Please remind me in WhatsApp. I might miss, so you can remind me that about the chronology. Prabhupada said in one purport, so that please remind me and I will share it.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Okay, so now, okay, this Kathamratam Shravana Puteshu Samrutam. Shravana Puteshu means the whole of the years. Whole of the year is very small, right? But what you have to do is we have to do Samrutam. Samrutam means you fully filled. In other words, there is not an inch left. Ounce of thing cannot be done over. That much it is overflowing. The bottle is full and still it is being continuously poured. You got it? So that is really Sambritam. So in other words, in order to purify the polluted aim of life known as material enjoyment, we have to continuously keep on pouring this Krishna Katha. Whether you hear it, speak it, read it, whatever it is, we should continuously be associated with it or practicing it. All combined together, it is Krishna Katha only. Now we are hearing this shloka. When you practice it, it is also Krishna Katha.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Yes, Prabhuji.
So Sambritam, it means overflowing, right? So mean, Prabhu, even though it not enter, so it not we don't taste it, but then it keep on pouring. What it mean?
No, not like that. It is filled. In other words, we are continuously enjoying, but it doesn't stop. It keeps on flowing. You understand? Like the river keeps on flowing, isn't it?
Oh, okay, Prabhu. Thanks,
like
Prabhu.
that.
Thanks.
You may drink some 2 handful of water and quench your thirst, but river doesn't stop. It keeps on flowing, isn't it?
Yeah. Yes.
Like that.
Yes.
So this is a very important, Sambritam is a very important word for us to understand. Because even a slight gap you give for Maya to enter, then this whole thing will become a distaste. Of course, we may wonder how it is possible. I have to deal with the material energy also and all that. But dealing with material energy is not a problem. Our consciousness is the problem. Even while dealing with material energy, if our consciousness is completely surrendered to Guru and Krishna, then we are completely spiritual. I do this work for Krishna. I do this work to please my spiritual master. That is perfectly done, taken care. Is that helpful? Now there is one more important. There is one more important point here, which I would like someone to highlight also.
Go by to Godhead, Prabhu.
No, I want you to read it from translation. Yes, of course. I mean, in the thing saying going back to Godhead, that is very important. But there is one particular point which you all, somebody told me in the beginning about the hearing part. It is related to that. There is it defines this entire verse in a nutshell. If that one word. Who can highlight that?
Prabhuji, if we can see, like, this place is called as Dukhalaya. So from Dukhale, only Rasale can take us out from the Dukhale.
Correct. Very nice word. Rasalayam will take us out of Dukalayam. That's a beautiful way of putting it, Prabhu. Thank you so much. What is that one word that you can see in this to understand that point? I would say 2 words, not 1 word.
Lotus feet.
Is it the lotus feet of
No, we
lotus feet of the Lord? Lotus feet.
Covered that.
Oral reception, bro.
Vedanaran Prabhu, yes, oral reception. Please try to introspect on this word oral reception. Why Prabhupada is using this word oral reception? Why couldn't he not say those who drink through hearing, listening, studying? So many other words he could have used.
Is it because we have to hear it attentively?
Yes, we have to hear attentively, but these 2 words, why the word oral?
Prabhuji, one reason could be that reception means welcoming something. So
Correct,
why
very
I
nice. Very nice, very nice. So let's focus on the word reception first then. So reception, where and all we use this word, keep oral aside. Let's use this word reception. Where and all we apply this word reception in our life.
Like guest, Prabhu, we are receiving a guest.
Yes, very good. Guest, we are receiving the guest. So when somebody is coming home, we don't invite them with a frowning face. When they come, we smile, with smile and with pleasure we are receiving them, correct? Bhaktim Paramaya Muda, we say, right? With joy we are receiving them, right? So guest reception, okay. Then
Prabhu, for the oral, Prabhu, in my point, Prabhu, oral
glorifying.
I think we lost you, Prabhu. You said
sure, Prabhu. What I would like to say is that oral, it's received from out of devotee by listening to a devotee's lecture or received from a devotee. That's what I understand about oral.
Right. Very good point. But the aura word has another connotation. What do you say for aura? The tejas, the influence.
The vibes or vibrations.
Vibes, the resonance or the dhvani. No, the oral reception actually means, we use the word audience, auditorium, right? But in the audience means people are all sitting in the auditorium or in the audience, as audience, they are all sitting there and watching also, isn't it? But while watching, they are also hearing. That is why they are called audience. That's why it's called audio. So this audio, oral, they are all the same. Right?
Yes, Prabhu.
So this aura means, suppose, see, somebody is very pure. When they come, that aura impacts us, isn't it? When Guru Maharaj comes, when we hear Prabhupada speaking, their purity impacts us, isn't it, Prabhu?
Yes.
That is the real aura. So when we hear Bhagavatam, it actually influences us or infuses us with the aura of Krishna and his devotees. That is how we get purified. So this purifying the polluted aim of life happens because Krishna, the purest of the purest person, Pavitram Paramam Bhavan, we say, right, in Bhagavad Gita. So that Pavitram, he is entering into our hearts, entering through our ears and enter into our hearts. The pure, glorious qualities of his devotees are all, these devotees are all entering into our hearts through that glorification. That is real oral. Oral means the impact is happening, the change is happening in our heart. See that?
Prabhu, for that, I see like maybe like our attentiveness or our willingness to hear is also important, no, Prabhu?
Yes, keep that aside. Keep that aside. Initially, when Prabhupada spoke to all those the hippies and the others in the Western world, they were not so very attentive, isn't it?
That's why Srila Prabhupada used the word purity is the force.
Yes. Yes, that's the point. Purity is the force. So the purity of Srila Prabhupada forced them to listen and become pure devotees. Is that helpful, Mataji?
Yes, Prabhu. Yes, Prabhu.
So what you're saying is right. From our side, that sincerity is a purpose. Sincerity is also required. But at the same time, the pure force can even, like the river, you know, when it flows, even some dirty part also it can just wash away. When the force of the river is there. When the water is really going in trickles, it cannot purify that place, isn't it? Cleanse that place. Correct? So that is where the oral reception means the aura of that message is very important. That is where Bhagavatam plays a very, very vital role in our life, because it is not different from Krishna. So Krishna is entering through our ears in the form of these sound vibrations.
So Prabhu, it's very important from who we listen this Bhagavatam, right, Prabhu? From Parampara.
Yes. Yes, that is very important. You are right. We go to the right person. When we hear from the perfect person, we will then immediately the purification will be complete. Otherwise, it may take more time. That is a very good point.
Prabhu, let's say, Prabhu, a person may be not very qualified, but then he's just repeating what Prabhupada has said. So he's just repeating. Does that mean the purity of the Prabhupada also go through that person, or not very purified? I mean,
as long as it doesn't contaminate it, Prabhu.
Okay.
The thing is, contamination can happen by my polluted aim of me getting more glorification and becoming great person using that, using Krishna and using Prabhupada. We want to become great. So that is a polluted aim of life.
Clear, bro.
Very nice questions, Veerapal. Really appreciate your questions.
Thanks, bro.
But we'll try to focus on this oral reception again. So oral part is we are kind of there. But reception, we understood that some guest is coming, we are doing reception. Where else we use the word reception?
Just reception.
Marriage.
Marriage reception. Yeah. Somebody said marriage reception. Can you expand on it, Mataji?
And the day before, for the bride and bridegroom, we invite them.
Yeah, sometimes they do it day later also. Either way it is. But what do we do in reception? Let's not worry about that definition of it. What do we do in that marriage reception?
We welcome our guest.
Welcome our guest, and then what other things we do? Like much crowd is there.
Connection made, Prabhu. A connection made in between two persons.
Connection made in between two persons. Two persons?
I mean the guru and disciple. The guru and disciple, there's a connection made. Reception.
Introduce the guest to the bride and groom.
No, 1 minute. Actually, that is a very interesting point. Veerabhadra Prabhu said the connection happens between the guru and the disciple through the reception. Amazing. That is nice. So which means that between the bride and the groom, there is a connection established through the process of reception. You are saying?
Yes, Prabhu.
Okay. Ideally speaking, it happens during the wedding. Reception is not a Vedic thing, but in any way, it's a nice way of putting it. That's a good point also. But I think somebody said about welcoming all the guests, and there are so many people are there. They are smiling. They are giving pose for the photos, video. So, do you see a single person crying there, or frowning, or angry, or morose there?
Everybody's happy.
Everybody's happy. Even if somebody is not happy, they try to make him happy, at least for the time being, isn't it?
Yes.
Right. The bride and the groom, they have to. They will face so many inconveniences, but still they will be always smiling to give pose to the thing.
How long this crap is going to?
Sorry. Somebody is asking something. Okay. So. This it is also symbolic that for the rest of their thing, they have to go through so many challenges. So at least for that day they can be happy. The bride and the groom, just telling in a lighter vein. So it is a truth also in many cases. So
can we understand, Prabhu, that by this way I just see a connection that by constant hearing, or the glorification of the Lord, our lamentation or our worries goes away.
Yes.
We
Shoka moha esyam vai shruyamanayam Krishne parama purushe 1.7.7. Bhaktim utpadyate punsaha shoka moha vayapaha. Your lamentation, illusion, fear, all of them they are all vanquished just simply by shruyamanayam, by giving oral reception. Right? So let's take this wedding thing now. So nobody is supposed to be morose or frowning or worried or upset or at that time, right? So this is one other example. Now let's try one more example. Office, companies, right? There is all receptions there. What do they do in that reception?
Inquiry, Prabhu. They will inquire anything.
They come to inquire, but the reception is the person who is a receptionist.
Who welcomes
somebody comes with a angry mood or some upset mood also, they welcome and they make them calm down and talk to them pleasingly, right? And by the end of the whole thing, the person becomes calm and his problem is solved, right? Anytime you go to the reception, why do you go to the reception? To solve the problem, correct? At least they give you yes.
Yeah, also they always seems to be smiling, like
smiling. Yes, very cheerful face. Even if they have hundreds of problems at home, they will show a cheerful face to the visitor. Correct. Next, any other thing strikes you?
Charity, Prabhuji. Receiving of charity. Like for reception, receiving of charity in the form of knowledge, money, that also we receive.
So you are saying that we are receiving charity from someone?
Yes, Prabhuji.
This is a nice point, very beautiful point. So we are receiving something as charity, so we are very happy when we get some gift somebody is giving, we are receiving that reception, no, we are receiving. So that is also like we are really excited when we get some gift, isn't it? Beautiful point, Prabhu. Then next.
Can we say that we are also like lucky to receive the message?
Yes. No, let's keep all these things and then we'll go one by one. No, any other example, any other situation?
Prabhuji, Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. While doing the reception, the first thing we ask is about the well-being of the person to whom we are receiving.
Right, Prabhu. Very nice. Yes. That's nice, Prabhu. Yeah. So what does that translate to?
Prabhuji, this translates to that when we are receiving the oral reception, we are actually asking for we are seeking for the well-being of the of the person who is being received.
Prabhuji, this also
yes, Prabhu. Sorry.
This also translates that we are their well-wishers.
That is Suhrud.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Beautiful. Lot of new meanings are coming actually beyond my limited scope. Okay, so anything further?
We get satisfied?
No. Reception word. I want to focus on the word reception. Any other place where we use this word reception? Don't you use this in the signals? Reception? Yes, Prabhu. Sorry.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Yes, Mataji.
Reception, Lord Krishna's mercy and blessings.
No. I am talking in the material. In the material examples where and all we are using this word reception. We'll come to that
Lord
later.
Krishna's mercy and blessings, Prabhu.
No, Mataji. I hope you are.
The place. It can be the place where we welcome our guest Like in some places there are receptions and or welcoming someone.
Yeah, that's we covered, I think, right? The office place and then wedding receptions or wherever we are home also we receiving some guests. I'm saying, some other place where we are using this word reception. Don't you use this word reception for signals, the phone signals, radio signals? We say reception is not good. I will go to some other place and hear.
Prabhuji, when we receive somebody, we also feel very happy and excited to receive someone.
Yes, Prabhu. That I think we covered. That's what we covered in all these other places like wedding reception, some guest is coming there. We covered that, Prabhu. I don't know if you were around there at that time. We covered that part, like when we are receiving some guests.
Prabhu,
Prabhu, I could see in the dictionary, sorry, Prabhu, that the degree to which mobile phone, radio, or television signals are strong and clear.
Yes, that is also reception, isn't it?
Reception, yes.
Yeah. So
Yes,
now, okay, we have quite a few examples here now. So let's try to see one by one how this applies to Bhagavatam. Now, wedding reception, guest reception, office reception. The guest reception. Somebody is coming home. We receive them, right? So that person is Atiti Devo Bhava Vise. So it's Krishna himself is coming, right? Or Devatas are coming. So when Bhagavatam is coming, we have to receive with all ultimate respect, utmost respect. That is one point, right? And see, it applies to office reception, right? And in wedding reception, when you see, you will see that so many people will be sitting around and hearing Bhagavatam. Everybody will be pleased. Why? Because Bhagavatam is so relishable, so joyful, so everybody becomes cheerful upon hearing the pastimes in Bhagavatam and the Krishna Katha. Kathamratam Shravanaputesha Samrutam. Right? So that oral reception means we have to be cheerful, we have to be joyful. We will become, it's not that we have to be, we will become joyful. Like just like in wedding reception, automatically everybody is joyful. Everybody is laughing, joking, and just very joyful. The same thing happens in Shrimad Bhagavatam also when we do oral reception. And the next one, somebody said, how charitable, when we receive a gift, somebody is giving us gift, surprise gift, how excited we become. So we should also become that much excited upon here. Somewhere you hear that about Krishna Katha, then we have to become excited. That is when the full impact will happen in our life to purify the polluted aim of life. That is why this word oral reception, Prabhupada is highlighted here. Then the next one is what? You have these signals, radio signals. It's like FM, AM, those different signals are there. You have to fine tune it to the exact number to get that particular channel. There are so many waves that are going up in the sky, isn't it? So we want a specific channel. We get that way by fine tuning our radios, the tuner. Same way in this world, there are so many different waves are there. Material waves are there, polluted waves are there, all kinds of waves are there. You want to catch stock market waves, you can fine tune to that channel and you will get that thing. Everything about stock market will come. You want to capture something about corona or thing, then you will get that. Then you want to capture something about movies, you fine tune to that, you will get that. Everything has its own, the waves are all there everywhere. But you can get Bhagavatam only if you fine tune our tuner to our mind's set wavelength to that particular Bhagavatam wave. In other words, we have to be really fully focused, one pointed attention. Vyavasayatmika buddhihi ekaiha kurunandana. Unless we fine tune, our fine tune is very interesting word. Finally, you have to tune it. Because in the radio light, even slightly you change here or there, the number will change and then we will lose the signal. The voice will not come. So Krishna's voice in this world is present everywhere, but if you are not fine-tuning our intelligence and our eagerness to hear, then we will not be able to receive it. So it has to be that focused and concentrated. That is the another meaning of this word reception. Right? All these different meanings apply to this one simple thing of Shravanam. Imagine how much Prabhupada would have thought over just putting these two words, oral and reception, in this provision messages. You will see throughout Bhagavatam, you will see repeatedly Prabhupada uses this word oral reception. Wherever he possible, you can see this phrase he uses left, right, and center. And how much is buried inside these two words you can see. How we should receive Bhagavatam, how we should enjoy Bhagavatam. Bhagavatam means Krishna Katha. Bhagavad Gita included in it. Bhagavad Gita or all other Shastras are included in it. But primarily Bhagavatam because everything expands from Bhagavatam. Does that help?
Yes, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
So this is how we should dig deeper into Prabhupada's books. Like the deeper study, we can enjoy more and more and more by focusing on each of these words. Somebody told about purified the polluted aim of life. Somebody told about lotus feet. Somebody told about nectarian message. Somebody told about drinking. And this oral reception is also the fully filled. Every single word you take, there's so much potent, so much treasure buried inside Prabhupada. How much Prabhupada must have thought over each and every word. So let's move on. This is how we should appreciate. This is a Bhagavatam glorifies Bhagavatam. So can somebody read this translation? In the interest of time, we will try to skip because there's quite a few to cover.
One who, with undeviating attention, constantly recites this literature at every moment of every hour, as well as one who faithfully hears even one verse or half a verse or a single line or even half a line, certainly purifies his very self.
This is a beautiful thing about Bhagavatam, you see. Every moment, every hour, half a line or even one word, even that is as good as Bhagavatam. That is a glory of Bhagavatam. Right? Shraddhavan yona shruniyat. We have to faithfully hear. That is the most important thing. And that faith comes from oral reception. Continuously we do the oral reception, then automatically our faith develops more and more. Okay? So we will go further. Can somebody read it?
Srimad Bhagavatam is declared to be the essence of all Vedanta philosophy. One who has felt satisfaction from its nectarine mellow will never be attracted to any other literature. Srimad Bhagavatam 12.13.15.
This is a beautiful thing. Kimva Parairishwaraha. The second verse itself, Vyasadeva is telling the same thing. Towards the end also is telling the same thing. If you are really satisfied with this nectar, we will not be running after so many other literatures. Wherever we go, we will only see Bhagavatam. So it doesn't stop us from reading the other scriptures, but there also you go, you will see only Bhagavatam there. Right? Yes. So shall we read the next one? This we can sing nicely, this particular verse. Then somebody can read it. See, each of these verses are so potent and so powerful. In the interest of time, I'm leaving it with you all to meditate further as you go on. Nigama kalpataror gaditam phalam sukha mukhadamruta drabasanyutam pibata bhagavatam rasamalayam muhura rasika bhuvi bhavuka. Can somebody read this translation?
Yes, Prabhuji. Shrimad Bhagavatam is declared to be the essence of all Vedanta philosophy. One who has
Next one. Not this one, the other one.
Expert.
O expert and thoughtful men, relish Shrimad Bhagavatam, the mature fruit of the desired tree of Vedic literatures. It emanated from the lips of Shri Shukadev Goswami. Therefore, this fruit has become even more tasteful. Although its nectarian juice was already relishable for all, including liberated souls.
This is the third verse and the very first few verses. These three verses are spoken by Srila Vyasadeva. It's like the Mangalacharan verses, So the whole thing is that, in the first verse, we talk about the Sambandha, Abhidheya and Prayojana, right? Sambandha is establishing relationship. Abhidheya is practicing to nurture or nourish that relationship. And Prayojana is the goal, our ultimate goal. right? So our first verse talks about the sambandha, talks about Krishna, and that way we establish our sambandha. The second verse talks about the abhideya, how by knowing about the glories of Bhagavatam, we can establish the we can nourish that relationship. And this is the third verse, Nigama Kalpataro Galitam Phalam. Here you are achieving that goal. What is that goal? That is Rasika Bhuvi Bhavukaha. Here also you see that word Pibata is used, drink. Those who drink this nectarian juice. No, the rasamalayam, that rasa is so much relishable for all. And muhuraho, again and again it will be more and more tasteful. The rasikas, it's rasikas and bhavukahas. Means they are the bhava, they enjoy the bhava, they rasika, they enjoy the rasa. And so this at that point you don't have anything to worry about. Hey, this part is I can't agree with this point in Bhagavatam. I don't understand this point in Bhagavatam. How can Krishna do this? How can Krishna do that? Those kind of things will not come at all. You just enjoy whatever is there in Bhagavatam. You just relish it. You don't care how that mango was formed. You just enjoy the mango ras. That's all. Amras we drink. No. So once you are given the mango rice, you don't ask where did this come from, which garden this came from, who sold it, how much it cost. None of those things we ask. We just drink, right? That is how the whole glory is. So we'll go further. These are the beautiful slokas glorifying Bhagavatam. So these slokas are really nice. This is something to which we should appreciate from Krishna Lila Stava by Srila Sanatan Goswami. They are called Bhagavata Mahima Stotram. I would like you to read the translations because it's kind of time, so we'll just read the translation alone. These slokas, these 4 slokas, they are really 4-5 slokas. They are really worth meditating on, Prabhus and Matajis. Even it is good to even sing them before every time we start studying Bhagavatam, because they are so nicely. Sanatan Goswami has given these so intimately. He is praying to Bhagavatam and glorifying Bhagavatam. Krishna in the form of Bhagavatam. So please, can somebody read this translation?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Yes.
O Shrimad Bhagavatam, O nectar churned from the ocean of all the Vedic scriptures, O most prominent transcendental fruit of all the Vedas, O you who are enriched with the jewels of all the spiritual philosophical conclusions, O you who grant spiritual vision to all the people of the world, O life breath of the Vaishnavas devotees, O Lord, you are the sun which has arisen to dispel the darkness of the Kali Yuga. You are actually Krishna who has returned among us.
So you know that story, right? Krishna swadamopagate dharma jnanadipi saha kalau nashta dushamesha purana arka adunoditaha. Krishna, when he went back to his abode, all the jnana, vairagya, all this yoga, everything, dharma, everything, they all, Krishna invested them in his form of Shrimad Bhagavatam. So the sun is setting in one place and rising in another place. It's the same sun. Like here it is rising means it's setting in the western world, right? Something like that. So Krishna's sun is setting and then this Bhagavatam is coming up. Bhagavatam is spoken after Krishna's return back to his abode, right? So that is the whole point. So Sanatana Goswami so beautifully, very intimately he is praying to the Krishna in that form of Bhagavatam. So can somebody read the next one?
O Srimad Bhagavatam, I offer respectful obeisances unto you. By reading you, one attains transcendental bliss. For your syllabus shower pure love of God. Open the reader. You are always be served by everyone, for you are Krishna himself.
Yeah, very nice. Thank you so much, Rose. See how the same thing is repeated again and again. So beautiful. So let's read the next one.
O Srimad Bhagavatam, O my only friend, O my companion, O my teacher, O my great wealth, O my deliverer, O my good fortune, O my bliss, I offer respectful obeisances unto you.
Thank you, Mataji. The last one.
O Srimad Bhagavatam, O giver of saintliness to the unsaintly, O uplifter of all, O uplifter of the very fallen, please do not ever leave me. Please become manifested upon my heart and my throat, accompanied by pure love of Krishna.
So, Prabhus and Matajis, I just want I'm not going to explain much on this because this is so self-explanatory. I just want to tell one point. It's how much Sanatana Goswami, Rupa Goswami, or all our Shad Goswamis, they would have relished Shrimad Bhagavatam, how much they would have respected Shrimad Bhagavatam, that they have written such glorification of this great king of scriptures. So if, we also, it will be really helpful if we also develop that same mood upon Bhagavatam, not as a book, but as a manifestation of Krishna himself, expansion of Krishna himself. You see, in every verse they are talking about, please become manifested upon heart and my throat, accompanied by pure love of Krishna. So Bhagavatam is the only scripture that gives pure love of Krishna, pure bhakti. No other scriptures in the world talk about pure bhakti. You see? So that is where it becomes so unique and so, it's a monopoly of Shrimad Bhagavatam. The only thing that Bhagavatam is our primary subject matter of our society also. Prabhupada took Bhagavatam as the prime foundation scripture for our Krishna consciousness society, isn't it? And we are distributing in hundreds and thousands of it. So when we give along with this faith and love and the affection that we develop for Srimad Bhagavatam, then the one who receives also will get it. Will be fortunate to get it. Okay. So now we will go further into this. This is the last slide of this section, unique position of Bhagavatam. See, we all know this is called Prasthanatraya, means whenever some truth has to be established about the absolute truth, they call it as Prasthana. Prasthana means establishing. So Traya means three. So these are the three scriptures through which our truth about our absolute truth, our Bhagavan, it is established by this Shruti, Smriti and Nyaya. Right? So Shruti means that which is heard. So Vedas, Upanishads, they all come under the, through the oral reception, the word we asked about. Right? They speak here, like that. So it's considered the highest authority in spiritual knowledge. The next is Smriti. Smriti means which is that which is remembered and put down. So like Vyasadeva remembered and he put down the Puranas. He remembered the Itihasas, Mahabharata, and he wrote it down. And Ganeshji wrote it. So they are authored by great saints like Valmiki wrote Ramayana, Vyasadeva, like that. No? So they are completely flawless. They are authored by such saintly people, personalities like Valmiki and Seth Vyasa. They had no unnecessary motive about their own glorification and all that. They only were worried about everybody's well-being. Right? So all these come under Smriti Shastras. Shruti, Smriti. Then the third is Nyaya. Nyaya Prasthanas means they are the Brahma Sutras, like Vedanta Sutra. They establish the absolute truth by logical, analytical analysis. Through the Shruti and Smriti. It's a combination of Shruti and Smriti. They combine this everything and then they put it in a very terse and logical way. Right? So that these are the three trayas, prasthanas, prasthana traya, by which the absolute truth, if anybody wants to know about absolute truth, they are supposed to go and refer to these three sources of truth, source of knowledge. But where is Bhagavatam sitting in this? We may say that it is sitting as part of the Puranas, but then Bhagavatam is given a completely different thing called fourth prasthana. It is a league of its own. That is the beauty of, even among the 18 Puranas, Bhagavatam is given a special position. See that. Even though Bhagavatam is one of the Puranas, it is classified as Smriti. Our Vaishnava Acharyas have exclusively called it as fourth Prasthana. It's a class of its own. All our Acharyas, Madhvacharya, Baladev Vidyabhushan, Nimbarkacharya, Vallabhacharya, everybody quoted so much from Srimad Bhagavatam. And they kept Bhagavatam as the topmost of all the, not only Puranas, even above the Vedas. So that's where they say that Vedas speak like a king. There's no question. We say Veda Vakya, no? Is it Veda Vakya? We call it, no? So which means once a Raja, king tells something, nobody can question. That's it. Finished. So Itihasas speak like a friend. Sugrit Samhita means they speak like a friend. They give some stories and talk like that. And Puranas, they speak like one's lover, one's beloved. That's Kanta Samhita. But Srimad Bhagavatam speaks like all these three. That is the beauty, that's the unique portion of Bhagavatam. And so, why Bhagavatam is unique among all these Prasthanatrayas? Because Bhagavatam contains the thing of all these three Prasthanas, but on top of it, it also talks about, reveals the glories of the Lord, the devotees, devotional service more than any other scripture. That is why it is a class of its own. No other scriptures is given a unique position like Shrimad Bhagavatam in all of our Vedic scriptures. Does that help, Prabhu and Mataji?
Yes, Prabhuji.
So,
Yes.
yeah, any questions here? Okay, let's move on. Let me see if I can. Somebody was speaking. Okay. Hope they are muted. So in this section, we should have started a little bit earlier, but we are a little late, but I think we'll take maybe 5-10 minutes more if possible, and then try to cover as much as possible. Maybe this last part, we will have to take it up in the next session. Maybe at least the first 2-3 things we will cover today. So let's go further. Can somebody read this three? I want 3 devotees who can read one paragraph each. This is Prabhupada's quote on Bhagavatam study from Teachings of Queen Kunti. Prabhupada has written this very nicely.
Hare Krishna, bro. By
Yes.
hearing about Krishna, Srila Prabhupada's quote on Bhagavatam study. By hearing about Krishna, however, one comes to the platform of pure goodness. Shunvatam Swakata Krishna. We should try to hear and chant about Krishna always, 24 hours a day. And in this way, the dirty things will be cleansed from our heart. Because our mind constantly accumulates material dirt even without our desire, and the only medicine is Shunvatam Swakata Krishna. It is not that one should only attend a Bhagavata Saptaha, an official reading of Shrimad Bhagavatam for 7 days. That is another form of exploitation.
Yeah, so many times we just go and say 7 days we hear and we say we think we are purified. There is no self-study. There is no refinement of character. It just goes in and comes out. That oral reception is not happening. Oral reception means it goes in here through ears and then enters, and then like a T junction goes into our heart. See? So we should try to hear and chant about Krishna always. In this way, dirty things will be cleansed. Punanti te vishaya vidushita ashayam. Can somebody read the next one?
Simply by hearing or chanting the verses of Srimad Bhagavatam, one can be purified. Whatever knowledge exists in the world is present in Srimad Bhagavatam. It includes literature, poetry, astronomy, philosophy, religion, and love of Godhead. Srimad Bhagavatam Puran Amalam. If one simply reads Srimad Bhagavatam, he gains the topmost education. For if one studies Srimad Bhagavatam, he will be well versed in every subject matter. Even if one does not understand a single word of the mantras of Srimad Bhagavatam, the vibration themselves have such power that simply by chanting, one will be purified. Shirantam Swakatha Krishna Punya Swaran Kirtanaha.
Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you so much. So what are the important points here? I have highlighted already what are the important ones here. Even if one does not understand a single word of the mantras, Prabhupada is using the word mantra to depict these verses or shlokas. Because Prabhupada in one of his lectures said, each of these shlokas in Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam are non-different in potency like Hare Krishna mantra or Hare Krishna Mahamantra. So anytime you keep on chanting the shlokas, Krishnaya Vasudevaya or Namaha Pankajanabhaya or any like this Pibanti Bhagavata Atmana Satam, then Ye Tavadukto Pararam Tanmahat, some shloka you just take and just keep, just memorize 1 or 2 shlokas also, that's enough, and just keep on enjoying that shloka. That's enough for the perfection. Because even if you don't understand, Prabhupada says the vibration themselves of such power that it can simply by chanting we will be purified. How much is the potency? Just see Prabhu Mataji's. It's like acts like the medicinal doses, Prabhupada says. So the next one.
The word punya means pierce, Shravana means hearing, and Kirtanaha means chanting. One who chants or hears the verses of Srimad Bhagavatam becomes pious automatically. To become pious, one generally has to endeavor a great deal, but if one simply hears the verse of Srimad Bhagavatam or Bhagavad Gita, one becomes pious automatically. Therefore, it is a rigid principle in every temple of our Krishna consciousness movement that There must be a daily class of our hearing and chanting. Our movement is meant for training spiritual leaders, but without hearing and chanting, it is impossible to become a leader. Teachings of
Oh.
Queen Kunti.
How strong is Prabhupada's words? Why Prabhupada has made this daily hearing of Shrimad Bhagavatam as a must? Because that's the way to cultivate spiritual leaders, training spiritual leaders. Without hearing and chanting, we cannot become leaders. And secondly, you see, we become pious automatically. We don't have to struggle so hard to become pious. Just to hear Shravanam and Kirtanam, that itself makes us pious. Whatever dirty things which we are doing in the past life, they're all gone, vanished from our life, isn't it? How did it happen? Simply by the touch of the Granthra Srimad Bhagavatam, spoken by pure devotee like Srila Prabhupada and our acharyas, So that we have to keep in mind, Prabhus and Matajis. And this is a very important quote for us to meditate on. Prabhupada's quote on Bhagavatam study. So many places Prabhupada said about glorification of Srimad Bhagavatam. Right? So I just wanted to share also some of these nice pearls. These are importance of Srila Prabhupada, because Prabhupada is walking Bhagavata, like person Bhagavata. So many times my spiritual master, His Holiness Srila Mahavishnu Goswami Maharaj, he will insist on that Prabhupada has endeavored so much by giving us this gift of Srimad Bhagavatam and all his books. So many places he highlighted the importance of Srila Prabhupada, the author, the Acharya who has given us all these, founder Acharya has given us not only this movement, his books, his temples, the process, everything he has given us. He has given himself to us. So like this, there are a few quotes which I think will be helpful for us to develop that awe and reverence to Srila Prabhupada. Can somebody read this one? Just have a few of those to meditate on. One by one, yeah.
Srila Prabhupada has done everything except physically take out his heart and placing it in his book.
This is one thing that Maharaj used to say, See, Prabhupada, if there was a way to take out the heart physically and put it in the books, he would have done it. Except for that, he has done everything. In other words, he has given himself in the books. So many times when devotees ask Prabhupada, after you leave, what we should do? I'm non-different from your books. Just consult the books, I will be speaking to that. So even now, 50 years after his departure, devotees are still getting benefited by studying his books. How it is possible? Because every time you open the book and read, Prabhupada is literally speaking through those books, Prabhus and Matajis. Anybody who has not yet enjoyed that, please go today, you just open one of his books and read any book. Not this book or that. Any book of Prabhupada, you just open and read, you will really feel him speaking to us. How many of you have experienced this so far in your life? Maybe you can raise your hands. I will see that in the thing. I will know. We will know how many of you have actually experienced it. So how many times Prabhupada has spoken, and we can see that he has spoken to us through that. So many devotees have done it, right? So this is very important for us to appreciate every time we study Bhagavatam, that it's Prabhupada's hard labor that we are enjoying his. Not only that we are selling his books in thousands and we are getting the Lakshmi for our temples and so projects or whatever. But even for ourselves also, for purification of our heart, these are the only recourse that we have got. Right? Okay, so next one. Somebody want to read the next one?
Srila Prabhupada has given so much in 10 years that we will not be able to read and understand in hundreds of lifetime. There are 18,000 verses in Bhagavatam, and Prabhupada said that to understand each verse, you need at least 1 month. I'm not able to read. At least 1 month. So to understand Bhagavatam, you need 1500 years. We hardly have 50 or 60 years, and in that also.
What's happening, Mataji? You're not able to see the screen?
The screen is changing, Prabhu, yeah.
Oh, sorry. I was thinking, yeah.
So to understand Bhagavatam, you need 1500 years. We hardly have 50 or 60 years, and that also half the time we talk through our nose, snore. So please understand, we don't have time. Just somehow or other, please endeavor and be happy with Bhagavatam.
Maharaj was highlighting of the importance of each verse, We can't just skip through and think that I finished the shloka. Get an understanding of the shloka. Many times when he used to sit for hours together and study, he would say that I couldn't understand the shlokas, but I would fight with the shloka. I will try to understand, struggle hard to understand the shlokas, and many times it will take weeks for me to understand, even with my knowledge of the Sanskrit. Maharaj was a MA in Sanskrit. Still, he would go through Prabhupada's words so meticulously, because he would say, so many times he would say that, this thing, that Prabhupada has done what no one else can do. No great scholars in this world can do what Prabhupada has done. And alone he will just sit and enjoy Prabhupada's books. And devotees who are, there will be a personal servants will be staying in one room, and Maharaj will be staying in one room. And if Maharaj will be busy reading his books, and devotees will be thinking that, okay, Maharaj is busy with himself. But in the middle of this thing, they will be hearing some loud voice. Prabhupada, Maharaj is saying, all glories Prabhupada, Jai Shila Prabhupada, Prabhupada ki Jai. Like that, Maharaj will intermittently, he will just speak these words. And devotees will be thinking that, okay, Maharaj is calling us for. And then when they go, Maharaj would not have called them. He would just be simply reading and writing, and he will be enjoying Prabhupada so much that he will call out loud that, oh, Jai Prabhupada ki Jai. And so devotees will be thinking, oh, Maharaj was busy enjoying himself. That's his ecstasy associating with Prabhupada. So that the more important thing is we have to just endeavor hard to understand Bhagavatam. Just be happy with Bhagavatam. Why be dissatisfied with Bhagavatam and think that Bhagavatam is all right, but I need something more than Bhagavatam? That is a very wrong way of understanding. There is nothing that is more than Bhagavatam. Everything else is below Bhagavatam. So like we saw in one of the quotes earlier, if you are happy, once you know Bhagavatam, then all other knowledge is known by default. So, but don't get worried that, oh, it's so much time it will take to understand each shloka. That is the depth to which we have to study Bhagavatam. But we will go through the different study methods as we go along. In that study methods, we will see that how we can do, for beginners, how to do Bhagavatam reading, for intermediate, how we can do the Bhagavatam study. Like that, how can we do deep study? Everything we will cover one by one, Prabhu and Mataji. Just be a little patient for the next few weeks, and we will one by one slowly cover them all. Somebody for this? Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. With all due respect to Srila Vyasadeva, Srila Prabhupada's purports are more relishable than the verse itself.
Wow, this is Maharaj's beautiful, it's a very unique statement, because he is someone who enjoys verses very much. But on top of it, he would say that we may not understand Vyasadeva's thing, even though he has worked so hard on it. But with all due respect to Srila Vyasadeva, Prabhupada's purports are so much more relishable. That purports are the transcendental ecstasies of Prabhupada would say, these are my transcendental ecstasies. So this is to highlight the importance of Prabhupada's purports, not to minimize Vyasadeva. But we all know Vyasadeva's glories, but it's important for us to understand, appreciate how much our modern day Vyasadeva, that is Srila Prabhupada, had worked so hard. Next one.
Translation was like
Mataji, we are not able to hear you very clearly.
Prabhupada translation is just like a voice. Prabhu, is it audible?
No, with some noises there and little bit breaking, Mataji.
Prabhupada's translation is just like a poetry. Please remember these things. Prabhupada is very kind to us to do all these translations. Daily he was waking up at 1 a.m. and doing these things. In his old age, just think how much his body would have been troubling him. Please be merciful to him for giving us these books. The Sanskrit verses must be learned nicely. You should be real devotee of Prabhupada. He has made it so very easy.
Yeah, so this is, we all know how much Prabhupada used to work all night on his translations, and Maharaj was very much he is forcing us that in that age he was struggling for us. For whom was he struggling? Was he only thinking about, I want to make a business out of it? If that were the case, he would have done much better job by using some big, say some companies or something. Why he should, even till today, our books are the only books which are not sold by any, say, big the companies or what. Even today, the devotees are going into the streets and distributing Prabhupada's books. That is the greatness of our movement. We are not here after business or some profit and all. If it comes, it is well and good. But the most important thing is, these are spiritual books. We all have to enjoy it and let others also enjoy it. Next one.
Just like how mother makes the food very soft and easy for small baby to take, Srila Prabhupada has chewed the nectar of Shrimad Bhagavatam, and all we need to do is just drink it. But we are so very rascals that we don't want even to open our ears and mouth to drink it.
Maharaj will be chastising us very much in the classes. When we sit in the class, Maharaj will be like very heavy with us. How much hard work he has done. Why can't you guys just sit and read his books? Prabhupada is not asking us to write some books like him, how much he has worked hard. All he wants us is to just drink it. He has made, like a mother, the child will not have the teeth to chew. So the mother will make a nice mash of the food, and then like slowly in spoon she will be feeding the child. But we are not even opening the mouth to speak. That's why many times when Prabhupada's words we have to read, I'm really happy that all of you are nicely, competing to read these quotes so nicely. Many times we ask some devotees to see in the classes and all, no, they'll say, no, Prabhu, it's okay. I'm fine. No, but we are not fine. That is why we want to read. So people have to understand this, that, when we are reading, it is actually helping us very much. So that's another thing Maharaj would say. So can somebody read this one?
Srila Prabhupada did so much
Sorry,
labor.
Mataji. 1 minute. Sorry, Mataji. Prabhuji was trying earlier also. Aniruddha Prabhu.
Oh, yes.
Prabhu, you don't waste your time in saying Hare Krishna. By the time someone else takes over your turn. Sorry, Vindaneshwari Mataji. I will just let him do this time. Yeah.
Sure, Prabhu.
Yeah.
Srila Prabhupada did so much labor for us, and he was just looking for one pure devotee. Please try to be that pure devotee by following these things. And that's why I am forcing you to understand this verse. Shrimad Bhagavatam 1.5.40, which is the easiest and most effective for common preaching. And apart from preaching, we should preach this to our own selves, because we are also suffering.
So this one verse, Maharaj in his last days in the Bhaktivedanta hospital, he stayed for a month or two, and Maharaj was repeatedly he was speaking on this verse, giving classes on this verse. It was so intense that he was suffering with the pain that he had in his last days, but still he did not show it to any of us. Anybody who comes, he would say, you please recite this verse, remember this verse. This verse is the most important verse you should put into practice. And then you read the translation, you digest the translation, assimilate that message, and then give it to everybody. He was insisting on this. We don't have time to go through this verse. We will just keep a bookmark on it. Somebody, if you can bookmark on it and remind me at later point, because we have to exclusively study that verse, why Maharaj was repeatedly insisting on it. Because that's a Sanklesha Nirvana Mushanti Nanyata, it says. Means other than Bhagavatam, I don't see any other panacea, any other remedy for this the disease that we have in this world. Okay, so let's quickly move on to the next one. This is about the art of approaching Shrimad Bhagavatam. We are coming towards almost towards the end of this thing. So I'm just wondering, let me see. We have another 4 more. Just then we'll go to this. I think Prabhus and Matajis probably will stop here, because this requires some nice focus. We will cover this in the next week. Though we are behind the schedule by a few slides. Krishna willing, if you all spare some time, then we will be able to catch up. But what I would request is that if you have any questions, maybe for the next few minutes, we can discuss that. Is that okay? Otherwise, it will just be a bit too much to digest, because that particular slide is a bit involved. We need to discuss in a little bit more in depth. So, any questions, Prabhus and Matajis, till this point? Be happy if you are coming up with any questions or even your thoughts. Your
Prabhu,
reflections.
I have a request, Prabhu.
Yes, Mataji.
Thank you for the wonderful class, Prabhu. One kind request is that you have now recited some Shrimad Bhagavatam verses along with the Kartal, but in the Zoom we are not able to hear it very clearly. If you don't mind, if you can record it and send it in the WhatsApp group, that would be really nice, Prabhu.
I can do that. There is one other this thing, you know, I will give you. There is an app that was that has been released by us. This is called Amrutavani. In that, some of our devotees have sung Bhagavatam, prayers, and Bhagavad Gita also. They are all there in it. You can just install it. It also has those Grantaraj ones which come daily, no? So it also comes in the app itself. So maybe it is available both for iPhone and Android phones. I'll just give you that name here. All you have to do is just type in your Play Store and
install.
Where is that? Let me just see the chat. There's a chat here. Yeah, chat. I just type it to everyone.
Sure.
The name of the app is Amrutavani. So you just type this in Play Store or App Store and you can install it. So in that, under Pada Seva, all these recitations are all there. So you can hear all these ones. Some of them with karsals, some of them without karsals. You can see that they have recited all these prayers.
Sure, Prabhu. Thank you very much.
Shlokas and entire Bhagavatam is recited also.
Thank you. Thank you, Prabhu.
Thank you. So any other questions, comments? I hope
one more kind request.
Yes, Mataji. Yes, Mataji. Please go ahead.
One more kind request. Probably, yeah, it was nice. You opened up with the question and answer session in the beginning. Is that okay? Can we have that in the end of the session so that we can?
Yes.
We can cover more.
No. The thing is, I promised Hariprasad Prabhu that I will answer that question because he asked that in the WhatsApp group. So I thought I will, and also it was a relevant point where I could discuss that because all the other Puranas are glorifying Bhagavatam. We saw that, no? So that's the reason we do it, and we did it in the beginning. You're right. And at the same time, since this is a seminar, I don't want devotees to hold on to their questions. Of course, if it is relevant to that particular slide, please type it in the chat or unmute and ask. That will help everyone to capture the, it will be in the flow, isn't it? So instead of doing it in the end, it will be along with the flow, so it will get cleared. So to some extent, we'll keep it, not that we open it up for all the questions. That's why in the beginning, I kind of said, we will cover one particular question was there, which I couldn't answer, I didn't answer. Probably we will answer it in the WhatsApp group. In the chat, I'll just save it. Or if I don't save it, please share it in the WhatsApp group, Prabhus and Matajis. That way, everyone will get a chance to, even those who didn't attend will get a chance to see the answers. Thank you for that input, Srivindan Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Any other questions, comments? Shivam Prabhu, you are trying to speak. I see that you are unmuted. I couldn't hear you, Prabhu. I don't know if it's a mic is not on or something, but I couldn't hear you.
Hare Krishna.
Yeah, now yes, now audible, Prabhu.
Prabhuji, I have a question from beginning of this session where you spoke that Shrimad Bhagavatam can please Krishna. So, Prabhuji, when we speak of other scriptures, they are gradually elevating the Jivatma. They are giving two opportunities. One is for limited sense gratification, and another for gradual evolution of consciousness. We do that in our society also. When a new devotee comes, we gradually introduce it. And that is pleasing to Krishna. So a student is coming, we tell them to study, and that is pleasing to Krishna. Similarly, other scriptures, they also must be pleasing to Krishna.
Right.
In some extent, but it was completely refuted in beginning of the class. So can you please understand that?
Actually, Prabhu, yeah, you're right. A very intelligent question. Actually, no scripture is useless. Frankly speaking, all other scriptures are also useful at their levels. But what happens is that if you take them all as a whole, no, Prabhu, say Shiva Purana is glorifying Shiva, Devi Purana is glorifying Devi, Skanda Purana is glorifying Skanda, then people get confused. It may be easy for other yoga people to understand it much better because of their higher intelligence. But we are Mandaha, Sumanda Matayo, Manda Bhagya, right? We are disturbed, we are less intelligent, we are dull, etc., etc. So if we are not given, we don't have time, Prabhu. Honestly speaking, we before beyond 30-45 minutes, we are not able to relish Bhagavatam, isn't it? The devotees start looking at the watch and time and everything, right? So, or if you go beyond this thing, now it is all online, so people say that, okay, you record and give me, I will hear it later, isn't it? So, we have that kind of a fast moving Kali Yuga mentality. So, you need to be very crisp in our approach, isn't it? Before they run and they run and what do you call this? Hit the wall and smash their head. You have to give them this this injection, isn't it? So that is why Vyasadeva is, Narada Muni is chastising Vyasadeva, Jugupsitam dharma krite anushasataha, Swabhava raktasya mahan vyatikramaha. Swabhava raktasya, by the nature they are running after enjoyment, and you are engaging them, you are giving them the gradual progress. By when they will reach, there is no way. And that is why you are disturbed. You have not given them the exact, the one thing that they have to do topmost. You got everything, but you didn't say what is the topmost among all these things. Yes, it is true that Dharmartha Krama Moksha is required, but beyond that there is something called Bhakti, which is the Panchama Purushartha, which we have to be aware of, and that you have not exclusively highlighted. So that is the point, Prabhu. Otherwise, Garuda Purana has so many nice things. Brahma Vaivarta Purana, Skanda Purana, Padma Purana, they are all so nicely filled with nectar. You can take those nectar from everywhere, but how long time you have, Prabhu? That is the whole idea. That is why you are, it is important, right? When you are dying, even the what you call most expensive mobile phone, if somebody gives you, will you relish it? What you'll be looking for? Some water to drink, isn't it? Right? So even if it is most valuable, still it has to be most useful also to us at that time, right? To make it useful for us. That is why I was saying that's it's correct, Prabhu. Your question was very relevant, and I hope it answered, Prabhu. Jagadishwar Prabhu, yes, Prabhu, it's Mahavishnu Goswami Amritavani. That's the same app, Prabhu. I just gave you the short name, that is Amritavani. It will easy to type and download. So in that you will get daily Grantaraj messages also, which we are, Amoglila Prabhu said last week that every day we are posting these messages from different things. So that will also come to you every day in the app itself. And there are many other Maharaj lectures, or some of the other things are also there. Some pearls of wisdom and other things are also there. So you can enjoy all that. Okay, any other questions, comments? And any other feedback? Anybody would want to give your feedback on how it is going, and if you want me to improve something? Gopi Priya Mataji is telling something. We understand that Bhagavatam, each and every verse has to be relished for a deeper understanding. But when you read few verses of Bhagavatam, your thought is how to finish more verses and cantos, how to overcome this anxiety. Very beautiful question, Gopi Priya Mataji. See, this is why I told you there are multiple ways of studying Bhagavatam, which Maharaj said that you can do multiple ways of reading. When you read the first time, you use something called running reading. So that way you move faster. But as you go along, and Bhagavatam is not like a one-time reading. Your whole lifetime you have to keep reading. Like what I do, I will tell you, though it is ahead of the session, which is an upcoming session. But I would like to share this with you that. There are 335 chapters in Bhagavatam. So there are total 365 days in a year. So what we do is, beginning of the year, we start every day one chapter. In this is running reading. So we take only the verse and the translation. And we read either the verse and translation. If you can't recite Sanskrit, take only the translation. Just read that one chapter's translations together for that day. So in 1 year, like this, every day you do one chapter, 1 year, 11 months, you will finish the entire Bhagavatam. This is the running reading. So this way you will move faster, Mataji. At the same time, there is another way called deep study, which will go deeper. So that you run parallelly, like half an hour you keep for running reading, half an hour you keep for reading the verses. Go one by one verses, or maybe 2 verses a day, like that, and just go through. So your anxiety about finishing Bhagavatam will not be there. One other thing my Guru Maharaj used to say to us, humorously that he will say that don't try to finish Bhagavatam. If you do so, Bhagavatam will finish you. He will say that, because he will say that, Bhagavatam is Krishna. So you can't finish Krishna. Krishna is time. So you have to accept that fact and just go along with the flow, and Krishna will assist you and give more and more time for you to study. Like in that verse is there, Ayur Harati Vaipumsam, Udyan Astanchaya Nasau, Tasyarute Yat Kshanonita, Uttama Shloka Vartaya. Right? The sun takes away a day from the life of the living entities every day, but then it can't take one kshana also. Tatsya yat kshanonita. One kshana also it cannot take from the life of a devotee who is completely dedicated and absorbed in glorifying Krishna through studying Bhagavatam. Does that make sense?
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Am I audible?
Yes. Here is some background noise also, Mataji.
Nalini Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Nalini Mataji, you are not audible.
Some background noise is coming. Yeah. Maybe by the time she fixes it, someone else has any
Yes. Yes, Prabhu. I just need a suggestion, Prabhu.
Yes,
Recently, we have started a Shrimad Bhagavatam studying reading session.
Right.
Like what we do is every day we are reading the sloka translation and the purport. Maybe it could be say like 2-3 for 30 minutes we read it. In a group of 30 devotees, approximately 30 devotees joins, and we are one person will be reading, the others will be listening, or if they have their book, they also go through it.
You are doing it in online, no?
Online in the Zoom.
Right.
Okay. This is how we have started, but there is no explanation or any conversation going on. It is just only reading a session.
That is also
but
nice.
Still,
but it will not be. You will feel that I should do something more than this, right?
Yeah, something more exactly.
That is the way of Bhagavatam. That is the way of Bhagavatam. Because when we do one thing, you will relish it, but at the same time, it will give us the impetus to do more. That means you are doing it properly.
Okay.
If it is giving the impetus to more deeper, it means you are doing it properly.
So devotees ask sometimes, we need to connect the dots. Like they see something, sometimes they are missing, like why this conversation going on and how this question came up.
Yeah.
And it's not a classroom session. As I said, like it's only a reading session. We just every week.
So why don't you do one thing? Why don't you give that as homework to the devotees to read at home and come back? Find out the answers and come back. Instead of doing it all in the group itself, this is one of the things which will cover time permits. It's about group study. How to do group study also, we have some few slides. But only thing is that, if I have to cover them, we will be like jumping over the session flow. Doesn't matter.
No problem. We'll wait. We'll wait. We'll cover as per the flow.
So there are 10 different types of study methods are there, Mataji. In that group study is one of the important ones. So I suggest that you wait till there maybe, and then we will see. Because we have also done a few of these things and found out the areas where we need to fine tune and improve, etc., etc. So I've just put all of the thing in the suggestions and content, so I can share that message.
Sure, Prabhu. Thank you very much.
Sure, that's really nice of you, because that's the whole idea of this seminar. That eventually, individually also and in group also, we have to start relishing Bhagavatam, and for that only whatever we collected from all our senior Vaishnavas and all, and Prabhupada, we are just presenting them in one place. That's all. Nothing really. And of course, as we go along, we will also do more assignments, hands-on assignments in a couple of places where the deep study also, how we can do. There is a study which we can do it as a group work. In the fourth or fifth session, probably we'll do it. So, Krishna willing, we'll do that.
Sure, Prabhu.
You are about to say something. Sorry.
If we can give share some tips on how to give the assignments and make them to work at home, that would be really helpful.
Sure.
And also this COVID time frame, right from last year we started this group, and initially we started with the Prabhupada small book reading. Almost we have completed close to 15 books we have covered. And then after reading those small books, now we started reading Bhagavad Gita completely we read, and now we started with Bhagavatam. We are in the second canto.
Sure. Very nice, Mataji. Please continue that nice service. But only thing is that don't be too much absorbed in completing. As I told earlier.
Yes, true.
Enjoy the journey. That's the most important thing. But make it
Yeah,
consistent. Make it consistent.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sure, Prabhu.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna. So anyone else? I think Nalini Mataji, is her audio thing fixed now? I don't know. Maybe she's able to hear me. Okay. Anyone else? Maybe one last question before we wind up.
Can I ask one more question?
Yes, Prabhu. Shivam Prabhu.
Not very relevant to the session, but from what you spoke during the session, Prabhuji, that you spoke about that question about expansion of Balramji as a paraphernalia used in Krishna's service. So we know that there are all the jewelries that Krishna is having, or everything is individually a personality. Like Maharaj Kulashekar was an incarnation. So they are in themselves a person, and then they're also Balram's expansion. So how do both of the things coincide?
It's more, Prabhu, it's Paduka. We are talking about the Kulasekara Alvar as one expansion of his sword and other things and all, no? And then we have one more Alvar is he's the expansion of Krishna's Paduka and his different moods, right? It can exist, Prabhu. It can be like, say how you have Advaita Acharya is a combination of two incarnations. Shiva and Sadashiva and Vishnu, right?
Yes, Prabhu.
How is Ramananda is a combination of two? Srimati, I think, was it Vishaka and Arjuna?
Arjuna, yes.
Yeah, right? So how does it they happen? So those things can coexist. See, the bhava is important. That is when how it can expand and present in the same way. In South India, in Sri Sampradaya, they have the sword is one devotee, and then the Krishna's Paduka is one devotee, his bow and arrow is another. Like that, there are different paraphernalia of Krishna represent different devotees. So that is one thing. Representation is one thing, and expansion is another thing. So, right? And Krishna also represents himself as Vishnu, Narayana, then with Krishna himself, right? So many different bhavas he has. So he has enough service for everybody, so not to worry. If you do Bhagavatam and go, we will also get some nice service. The beauty is that Bhagavatam itself is a service, Studying Bhagavatam itself is a service, which is released by Krishna himself. Yeah, so nice. Thank you, Prabhu. I really like your questions, Shivam Prabhu. I think you study too much, I think. Probably. Nice. I'm so happy to be in the association of all you Prabhus and Matajis. It is such a nice thing, if I'm only in my place, I might probably associate with just a few of my friends whom I know. But we have not met each other before, 2 weeks before. Some of you have met, of course, I know each other, but some of you for the first time. So I really appreciate if you come forward, and even if you don't have questions, you can probably share some nice realizations you have in your day-to-day devotional service, and that will also inspire all of us. At the end of the day, we are part of the big family of Srila Prabhupada. And we all have our own inspirations coming from our local, say, congregation temple or our senior Vaishnavas and our spiritual masters. So they all have given Prabhupada to us in different ways. So the purpose of this thing is one is to enjoy Bhagavatam, to appreciate Bhagavatam more, and second thing is to appreciate each other's association also. After the 6 sessions are over, we will all be going in our own directions and different services. But what I would really appreciate is that we have this WhatsApp group where devotees can share their questions, and you can also share your not only questions, any of your personal readings also. Just share with everyone 1 or 2 lines of Prabhupada's purports, or his nice verse that you come across, or some nice points you found out from, say, the shlokas which you can highlight. So please do that. That way our group can be used more effectively, you know. So, and in the classes also, you know, there's such nice questions you are all asking. Very inspiring me very much, Prabhus and Matajis. So I'll stop here. I know some of you might be having more questions, but please do post them in the WhatsApp group. Whichever ones which we can cover there in the WhatsApp group itself, I will answer them. And those which it will be covered as part of the session, instead of doing everything in WhatsApp, I will probably delay it till the following Saturday. The reason is that you know, some of the questions it's in the flow anyway, so we will be covering them as part of our discussion. So that will be natural flow for us. And even if I forget, please remember to remind me. And then we will go further. Thank you so much, Prabhus and Matajis. I think we'll stop here. Thank you so much for your time, and wish you all a very, very, very happy Narsingha Jayanti. Shri Lakshmi Narsinghadev Bhagavan ki jai. जय बकरा श्री प्रहलाद महाराज की जय, शील प्रभुपाद की जय, शील गुरुदेव की जय, अनंतरा श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय, अनंत कोटि वैष्णव की जय, निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे,
हरे हरे
कल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्यश्च
वैष्णवेभ्यो नमः।
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.
थैंक यू
Thank you. Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Prabhu.
Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavas Pranam. Thank you very much.
Hare Krishna.
All
Thank
glories
you.
to Srila Prabhupada.
Hare Bol. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Prabhu.
Hare
Wonderful.
Krishna, Mataji. Thank you.
Very interesting.
Hare Krishna.
Hope to apply nicely.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.